You have already heard that chimpanzees are similar to humans in many ways, and pregnancy is another one of those similarities. Pregnancy is the time when a baby is growing and developing inside its mother before it is born. A typical human pregnancy is around 9 months long, while a chimpanzee's is slightly shorter at about 8 months. This also means that a chimpanzee baby, or infant, is slightly smaller than the average human infant, too. Chimpanzee babies grow in a series of life stages, which are periods of time during which a certain feature or behavior undergoes an obvious or noticeable change. The first stage of life for both chimpanzees and humans is called infancy. This stage occurs just after the chimpanzee or human is born. They are completely helpless at this time and rely on adults, especially their mother, for care. Some important features of a chimpanzee infant are their pale, pink face and a small tuft of white fur on their rear end. These are important things to notice because they allow adult chimpanzees to recognize how young the infant is, and this helps them to know to be gentle with the infant chimpanzee and that they should take care of it. What are some features of human babies that might work the same way? Try to think of things that babies have, but neither you nor adults have. While the chimpanzee baby is still very young, its mother will carry it around with her everywhere. There are several different ways that mothers carry their babies, which we will talk more about later. When the chimpanzee is able to walk on its own, it will start to explore, but the mother will still carry it with her until the baby is about 2 years old. At that time, the young chimp may begin to explore further on its own, but it always stays close to mom. Do you know any humans that are 2 or 3 years old? During that period of time, humans are referred to as toddlers because they begin to walk around on their own at short distance from their caretakers, just like young chimpanzees. Another important time in a young chimpanzee's life is when they are weaned. This means that their mother stops feeding them milk, and normally occurs around the time when the baby chimpanzee is between 3 and 5 years old. The next main stage of a chimpanzee's life is when it becomes a juvenile, between the ages of 6 and 9. During this time, the chimpanzee begins to spend more time with others, playing with chimpanzees its own age and learning from older chimpanzees. A juvenile chimpanzee will continue to move further away from its mother while playing, feeding, or even resting. However, they always remain in the same small group as their mother. They still rely on her for many things, just like we do when we first start going to school or sleep over at a friend's house for the first time. A chimpanzee will remain with their mother typically until they're about 10 years old. At this time, females will disperse or split from their mother and her troop to travel and find a new place to live. However, male chimpanzees will stay in the group where they grew up, but they do not always travel with their mother anymore. Instead, they may travel with their friends, siblings, or even on their own. Just like human mothers, every chimpanzee mother is a little bit different in the way that she cares for her babies. This is largely due to the fact that chimpanzees have different personalities, just like we do, and they may react to different situations in different ways. Some mothers are very attached to their babies, which means they do not like to let them wander off or even let them out of their arms for a minute. Other mothers may be more relaxed, allowing their babies to walk on their own or even trying to wean them sooner. Sometimes a chimpanzee's mothering style can be seen in the way that she interacts with other chimpanzees in her group. A more worried mother might take her baby away from the group and live on her own until the baby is a little bit older. This is to make sure that the males in the group cannot accidentally harm her baby. Other mothers will stay with the group the whole time they are pregnant, and even while the baby grows up. Sometimes they even let other chimpanzees help them take care of their babies. These are usually their own older children. The way a mother chimpanzee carries her baby is most often related to how old the baby is. During the first 5 to 6 months of its life, a baby chimpanzee will ride cradled in its mother's arms, close to her belly or chest. The baby cannot hold on by itself at first, so its mother must hold it tightly at all times, even when she is walking or climbing. Baby chimpanzees, and even baby humans, have something called a grasp reflex, which causes them to grab onto anything they can wrap their fingers around. Have you ever seen a really small baby that would wrap its whole hand around your finger and not let go? Baby chimpanzees use that same reflex to hold onto their mother's hair. However, even though they have this reflex, they cannot hold on for more than a few seconds without support from their mother's arm. After a chimpanzee is 6 months old, it can begin to ride on the back of its mother. This is where the ability to grasp is very important, so they can hold on no matter how quickly their mother is moving. During their first year, chimpanzee babies are almost never separate from their mother. As they get older, their time being carried on their mother's belly decreases, and the time that they either ride on her back or walk on their own increases.